All right. All right. Recording in progress. So, hello, everyone. This is Lynn Hamilton, your lead instructor at Samson Properties, to bring you our afternoon session of Master Your Marketing. In today's session, we're going to talk about, and we've been talking about it for a while, but we're going to hit it again, is how to sell your skills during buyer consultations. I've been teaching how to, where to sell your skills before, during, and after consultations, and in seller consultations as well. So we're just going to kind of cluster it, kind of a quick overview, all in there. The mindset that I want you to take away with is you are always needing to be aware of opportunities where you can sell your skills, sell your value more than anything. Because people know more than one real estate agent. So if you think that you're probably the only one they know, I'm going to bust a little bubble and say probably not. So what are you doing that is unique, that is different, and how is it being worded and presented? So let's take a deep dive into that one. When we talk about the before, the during, and the after the consultation, things that you are able to do before you actually meet with them is, again, this is where the monthly newsletter comes in handy, because you're selling your value. It ties back to, wait for it, you've never heard this one before, your mission statement. Your goal is to help them protect and maintain the value of that greatest asset. And if you're able to bring that information to them on a regular basis, just with a gentle little, when the day comes that the home no longer meets their needs and they need to consider a buy or a sell, that is when the hope is that you are top of mind and you will be their first choice. Now, guaranteed? Nope. Nope. I would love to say absolutely 100%, not a problem. But the reality is, sometimes people are just weird and they don't realize that you're worth $1 million. So, their dog, has got a license now, or they know someone's dog who has gotten a license. So, yes, it's the numbers game. I mean, I wish I had a magic wand that I could just whip out and go bippity boppity boo, boom. Everything you say is going to be perfect to the right person. And everyone you asked, does the home still meet your needs? They're going to go, oh, as a matter of fact, no, it doesn't. Can you sell my house because I need to buy another one? I would love to see that happen to everyone constantly. But the truth is, it doesn't. So, yeah, I know. I wish we could do that too. Wouldn't that be great? We'd all be, crying all the way to the bank. But when you realize, and again, the foundation is when the home no longer meets their needs, you want to be top of mind. Now, I don't care how great the restaurant is around the corner from you. If I have just had Thanksgiving dinner, I don't want to go get something to eat. So it's not that I'm not hungry or I'll never be hungry. I'm just not hungry right now. So it's the same thing. This is a huge purchase, obviously, and it's catching them at the right time. Your marketing material will never be the, oh, honey, let's go ahead and sell the house and uproot our life and cost us, a lot of money. Because I think, Andy's probably wanting a transaction. So let's do that. It doesn't work like that. So it's understanding how people decide to buy or sell. In a market, when we had 2% interest, it was real easy to say, hey, do you know you could buy a bigger house and end up paying less, possibly? That was easy. But those markets hit about every 10 years and only hit for a little period of time. So that won't sustain a business. So the right mindset agents need to have is, my job is to help them protect the value of their home. So when the day comes that their home no longer meets their needs, I want to be top of mind because I brought value to them. I've helped them maintain the home. Deferred maintenance is not a marketing strategy. Denise, you know that one. So deferred maintenance is not a good plan because someday or eventually they will get to a point that the home no longer meets their needs and they need to sell. So does it make more sense to help them along the way, keeping it maintained, or not giving them any advice and guidance, waiting till the day comes that there's an emergency in their world and in their life, and now they find out they've got to list it for $10,000 or $20,000 less because they've got all this deferred maintenance and stuff that needs to be repaired and fixed. So when you think about it, your job that way, hopefully it'll create a little click of the aha moment. Yes, buying and selling. But gang, there is so much more to the job title that you have. Many of you have heard me say this, and I'm gonna keep saying it. You're expecting people to trust you with the biggest financial purchase of their life. Would you trust you? Would you hire you based off where your skills are at? Would you hire yourself to handle the real estate sell and buy? If not, step back and say, I know nothing about septic or wells. Maybe I need to find a little bit more education about septics and wells, or at least have contacts that can be my go-to source, because someday I'm going to come across someone who's got a septic or well, and I'm going to need to know something other than, I don't know, I don't have a clue. So you don't need to be the general contractor, obviously, but you do want to be savvy enough that you know how to share some basic information. We have in the past talked about the fact that you have the ability to financially ruin someone. You have the ability to bankrupt someone. You wouldn't want it done to you, so don't do it to somebody else. So all of these little pieces come creeping in to see, okay, how do I sell my value, even if I am scared to death and my little knees are knocking and I am just terrified of a 15-page contract? Sell your value. What is it you can bring to the table to help them protect and maintain the value of their greatest asset? You have free reports. They're all for you in the Cardinal Nest. Under resources, type in free reports. They're there. We've talked in Jumpstart Session 3 about building out your database and your service providers. Tap into your database and say, hey, I'm working on a project and I need your help. You can text them. You can email them. Heck, you can pick up the phone and call. Working on a project, I need your help. As I'm sure you could guess, I'm often asked for a recommendation of someone for plumbing, electrical, painting, whatever, regarding a house, because that's what I specialize in. Who have you used that A, you would use again, did a great job, and you would highly recommend? They're going to tell you. That is how you slowly start to build out your service providers. If you targeted one a week, heck, one a day for all I care, you would all of a sudden, in a matter of a couple of months, have 50 to 100 service providers who have been highly recommended, who have done a good job for someone that you knew, and they would absolutely recommend them. Now, hopefully, once you get that person's name, you reach out to them just to say, hey, I hear Denise and William used you for flooring. I know people with flooring, most of them are dirty. We may need to be buds because I would like to be able to refer my clientele over to you. Again, it's building that system around you that they now know that you've got these resources. You're a value now, in addition, and the other things go with it. So leveraging that out. Let's take a hit on that one. I always recommend it, because it's what I did, is around the 15th of the month, do a David, I see your puppy there. When you reach out, say, hey, Mr. Service Provider, I would love to have you as my featured vendor of the month. Ask them from their industry, what are the common tips or the common mistakes that homeowners make in maintaining the value of their home? Gang, they can tell you in a nanu of a second because they know. And this is how you're going to learn even more. There was something, okay, way back when we had vacant homes, it was something about running the garbage disposal. And the question came up as to whether it should need to be run with cold water or hot water. Who ever thought these homes were sitting vacant? So the plumber recommended that we as an agent, when we went into the house or went and checked on it, turn the water on, let it run, turn the garbage disposal on, keep it functioning. Because if not, they would freeze up. Who knew? I didn't, but I learned that one because I asked. What is the tip that you can offer? What is a common mistake that's often overlooked? He shared that one. I went, wow, okay then. So you can, pass that on as well. Whether it was the hot water or the cold water, I don't remember, but it was a good one. But it doesn't matter which industry. It could be electrical, plumbing, HVAC. Are you, again, Stephanie Burke talks about her HVAC guy sends a reminder every month to change out the air filter in the HVAC unit. We know that will prolong the life of the unit. And again, a lot of people will get busy and forget, or they go, oh, they were renters before, and they didn't know they were supposed to. So this is all little pieces of the puzzle of selling your value to help them protect and maintain the value in their home. So deferred maintenance is not going to cost them thousands of dollars when the day comes that their home no longer meets their needs. And that day will eventually come. It's going to happen. So bringing value for that whole journey is a great way to do it. I sent out a survey to a bunch of you about the newsletter. If you did not get it, I just had a batch email that I sent out. We're wanting to get this, a little side note here. So we're wanting to get some feedback on the 2-page and the 4-page newsletter. If you are currently using it or not using it and want to give me your feedback, send me an email, ask for newsletter survey. I will send you the link, and then you just click on the link and then answer the questions that populate up. I've got a meeting with Heather on Monday. So if you're watching this on replay after February 10th, doesn't apply, but we're going to have a powwow and we're going to take a look at the newsletters and how we can make them better for you. So that is up and coming. That's why I've asked for that feedback. So if you regularly get emails from me, be sure to check your email or make sure it didn't fall into junk or spam because it was a batch email that went out. So again, you know, things in that newsletter are going to help as well. Follow it up with the tip of the month in the middle of the month. So you've got two gentle touches with them without bugging them and constantly asking them, so you're ready to buy or sell. That is selling your value before a transaction. During the buyer and the seller consultations, you absolutely have that opportunity to sell your value big time. Let me give you a case in point that jumps to mind. In the seller side, you can tell them, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm number one in the area, I'm in the top 10% in the area, whatever it is. I'll do a good job for you. I'm available 24/7, yada, 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 yada. When you say something to the effect of, I customize each of my marketing plans based off the property because I will identify where the buyer pool is for your property, and that is where I'm going to specialize my marketing strategies to. Okay. The other yada yada was a duh. It tells them nothing. You're going to sell your value by saying, Mr. Seller, I have a 32-point marketing strategy, and for every listing I take, I customize it because the buyer pool for a starter condo at $150,000 or $200,000 is going to be different from a $500,000 or a $1 million property. Although I have a marketing plan, I customize each of them to make sure I am going after where the buying pool is at. Now that sold some value. So when you start listening to all of the buyer and the seller consultations, I know it's a lot of information, but I want you to understand there is a science and a logic behind 99.9% of it. It is bringing forward what you are able to do for them, but you're articulating it. You just assume they know. They don't. I don't care that they bought before. It may have been 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years ago. They don't remember. They don't know what the market currently is. So you want to make sure that when you are studying the buyer and the seller consultations, you're picking up on the little nuances that we highlight for you to pick up on and to share. Okay. Here's another example when we talk about selling your value. And this one popped in because I was talking to someone about for sale by owners earlier. When you're selling your value on a for sale by owner, you don't just walk in and say, hey, I'll do a great job and I want to take your listing. No, you're going to walk in, and again, I'm just going to use the example. It's a $300,000 house. You're going to just mention to them, I assume that your target market or your target marketing is going to someone or the pool of buyers that are first-time home buyers that typically live within a 10-mile radius, that have a FICO score of 620 or more, and are making at least $100,000 a year. Mr. For sale by owner, is that who you're marketing to? And they're going to look at you and go, what? You just sold your value because you've identified to them exactly the buyer pool that's going to be coming for their property. We talk about that in the for sale by owner training. So if that is something you're wanting to do, that's where you can find all the details on that. But you see what it did. It took it from, hey, I can do a good job for you, to boom, drop the mic, I'm going home. And they're sitting there going, how in the hell did you know this? Well, because you know what's going on in the market. You can tell them that the average days on the market in this area at this price point is X number of days. Data and details that they may not know. You sold and you're selling your value with each of those little nuggets. This is why, too, that we encourage our agents to go out and look at for sale by owner properties. I know agents say, I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole, but you know what? The hope is that you may end up with that listing. Your job as an agent is to know all of the properties that are potentially available for your buyer. And if you're going to poo-poo off a for sale by owner, you are not doing your due diligence to even look at it. So again, safety in numbers, get with a colleague and say, hey, there's 3 for sale by owners in my area. Let's go take a peek at them. And you call the homeowner and say, hey, I'm an agent in the area. I potentially have some buyers coming up. I just want to make sure that I am aware of all properties that are on the market. I'd love to come by and see yours. You can tell me a little bit about it, and then I'll get out of your hair. Okay. They know you're not coming to them to say, well, you know, I can do this for you. You're going in with a different approach of, I need to know what the market is got to offer. I often have, or I may have some new buyers coming up that we're going to be looking in this area. I just want to make sure that I know about everything that's available. And that is for sale by owners as well. Okay. So that's why we recommend that agents consider, and we've shared that training with them so that, again, you're selling your value to the buyer as well as hopefully to the for sale by owner, and eventually hopefully get that listing. Same thing with expireds or withdrawn or canceled. Okay. Again, if it is just withdrawn, they are still under contract. You do not reach out to them. But if you've got a buyer and this house on the market is currently withdrawn, canceled, or expired, and it absolutely meets the needs of your client, you go to the original listing agent. You never go to the homeowner first. You don't want it done to you. Don't you dare do it to somebody else. The golden rule. Again, you're selling your value because you are letting your buyer know that you are creative, you think outside the box, and you're going to leave no stone unturned. You're going to even look at off-market property, and that is one of the avenues. Okay. So what are the other things through the process that you sell your value on? Most people, this is why we introduce the DISC personality styles. People are a D, an I, an S, a C. We're a mix of all of it. It just depends on which category is higher than another. We also have 3 learning styles. We are either visual, kinesthetic, or auditory, or technically we're all of the above. It just depends on which one is higher than the other. You typically do not know what your potential consumer is. So if you go in without a buyer consultation or without a seller consultation to leave them, if you are auditory and they're kinesthetic, which means they need to touch it and hear it, and you've lost them. That was your fault. Now, this is why we recommend that all of you master your skill and customize that buyer and the seller consultation packet and understand which are the key pages that you need to hit on. Selling your value. One of the other big things, in whether they're the D, the S, or the C, they want to know there's a system. They want to know there's a checklist. They want to know you are not going to send them on a wild goose chase. They know that they want to know that you are not going to waste their time. So when you say we have a proven process and you've got a couple things in bullet points, which is why the bullet points pages were used in the seller and the buyer consultation, That's why. They are visual, they're taking it in, they're looking at it. They are that D, S, or C. They want to know there's a system, that you are not going to waste their time like scattered all over like a crazy person, and you are going to methodically walk them through the process. Dang, you are good, is what they're thinking. That is why, that's the why behind having that piece of the puzzle in there. When it comes to after the transaction is all done and over with, it amazes me. For 20 years, I've heard the same numbers year after year after year, and they monitor it every year. They survey hundreds of previous clients, and they ask the key question: would you use the same agent again? And when 80 to 87% of them, of the consumer, says they would use their agent again if A, they could remember their name, or B, if they ever heard from them again, I just shake my head. So following up with and staying in touch with after is just as important as the before and the during. So the after would be, again, making sure that they've got the maintenance tips for the home. They now got a house they need to maintain. If you know they love gardening, spring is coming. If there's an article about something and you come across it, send it to them. I used to get Better Homes and Garden, and whenever there was an article in there that I thought of a client, I would rip it out, put a Post-it note on it, saw this, thought of you, wanted to share it, fold it up, put it in an envelope, and mail it off to them. Okay. In that one, they also had like the color palette of the day, where the paint colors and kind of the bluish or the grays or whatever the color palette thing they were doing for the month. I'd rip those suckers out, and I kept them. And then when a client said, "Oh yeah, we're thinking about redoing the kitchen or the family room," it's like, "Great, what color palette you thinking of going?" "Oh, well, that gray blue, I'm kind of liking that." Man, if I had a gray blue palette from that magazine, I'd grab that sucker, put a Post-it note on this, saw this in my magazine, thought of you, wanted to share it, fold it, stick it in an envelope, send it off. It was done. That gentle little touch point. The after can go even into annual client appreciation events. I know some agents love doing those, and absolutely, that's another great way to nurture that. You're staying in touch with them as well. Sending them an annual market snapshot or CMA based off, okay, so you bought at this price point. We're now kind of at this price point. Did you know that you just, got $30,000 worth of equity? That is a great touch point. It doesn't take that long to do. And if you've got past clients and you have not analyzed what month they closed in and have it in your calendar to do a CMA for them, you're dropping the ball. It will, if you've not done it and you need to go back and do it, it'll probably take you an 18-minute, 15 to 20-minute time block to go get that done. And just, hey, happy anniversary on your house. It's been 5 years. Who knew that time flew so fast? Here's an update of what's going on around the neighborhood. It doesn't have to be specific. And again, you can get those through a CMA through Bright. If that's where you pull your stuff, you can get it from RPR. You can get it from Core Present or Present, which is part of Bold Trails now. There are several places that you can pull that basic information. Okay, it's just that little touch point with them. So that gives you some examples, shall we say, of touching base and selling your value before, during, and after. When agents often tell me I want to build my business out to repeat and referral business only, great. You better have a really big database, 3 to 500, but you better be taking care of them as well. Because if they only hear from you once a year, I'm sorry, you're not all that in a bag of chips to them. They are not going to remember you when that crisis happens, or they have a friend or a family member who's just had a crisis and has a property that needs to get sold. You are not top of mind anymore because you've dropped the ball. So make sure that you're, gently staying in touch with them as well. One of the great things, again, we go back to that newsletter. My God, I mean, can't go wrong with that. And no, you should not be writing your own newsletter. Now, now there are a few exceptions, I will say, because I know a couple of you who do a different newsletter that is phenomenal. It is color branded for you, and it is after 2 months, it is an absolute embedded. You see it, you know exactly who it's from. So you are staying top of mind. So when that day comes that life has changed for them, you are top of mind. So in thinking about other things that can be done after, again, the new, it's not new, but it's the personal marketing company. It's the 5-year follow-up program. I think it's $36 for 5 years. Now, I find a lot of agents that didn't know about it, but also they didn't do it because my guess, they're not planning or they're not thinking of being in business for 5 years. So they're hesitant because subconsciously they're going, well, I'm not sure I'm even going to be in business in 5 years. So they don't do it. They do nothing. Well, doing nothing is going to guarantee you're not going to be in business in 2, let alone 5. But that is a great option as well. It can be added. I think there's a little box that we can check on your commission distribution. I'll need to make sure that it's still on there because I know they changed the wording on it. I need to follow up, make sure that it's still there. And if not, you can add them yourself into your own footprint. And I say, if you're going to start that 5-year follow-up program, then make sure that you add yourself in there as well. So when you get yours, you know they're getting ready to get theirs. Again, twice a year, it's a little mini magazine, and twice a year is a postcard. So basically 1 a quarter. There you go. It's a great follow-up tool as well. But without the follow-up, you won't get repeat business. You won't get referral business. So that's kind of the takeaway of the 30,000 foot overview of why selling your value, making sure that you are saying it correctly in the before, the during, and the after of a transaction is so important. So with that, I'm going to pause for a brief moment. I'm going to take a look and see, do any of you have any additional comments of things that you have done in your business for that before, during, or after touch point for follow-up? And this is why too, the newsletter, we tie the 2-page newsletter, the grab and go. It got labeled as the pop by. Now, I'm realizing now with some feedback that I'm getting that some agents thought it was only to be used with a pop by. So we're going to adjust that. So, but if you're wanting to do a touch point pop by, meet someone for coffee, meet someone for, a quick, hey, how's it going? You got something that you can give them, a little token gift, which is a small $5 or less, with a newsletter to say, hey, just wanted to say thanks. It was great, blah, blah, blah. Hand it over, you're done. All right. So we're going to make sure that we're adjusting how we're referencing the 2-page grab and go newsletter, because it is not just for pop buys. So that was it. All right. So let me pause again. Let me shut up and let me hear from you. Denise, what have you done in the past for kind of follow up with anybody in your SOI or clients even?
I do the monthly newsletter, and I've been doing that for years. Even before the one here, I did it through Buffini.
Hmm.
I do my notes, and sometimes I do my calls. And I used to do Popeyes religiously during COVID. I kind of got bad, and I need to get back into it. But yeah, those are pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Well, I say the best thing to do when the pot buys in is go find a newsletter that's got an article that you get excited over, whether it's the journaling or the whatever. Go buy five, get them all prepped and ready, and put them right in front of your face. Your job that month is to get those five out. Now, the beauty is we don't have the month on the newsletter. So if it rolls over to the next month, let's say we get snowed in for 3 weeks, you've got something that can be used the following month and roll over as well. But it's designed to just be that little, that little for you. So, okay. All right, Andy, let me hear from Andy. I know you are a seasoned agent. What have you done in a before, during, or after to sell your specific value?
So I'm embarrassed to say that I am terrible at this stuff. Um, the during, of course, is pretty much easy, but the before and the after I am awful at. In fact, it would be an interest. I actually was talking to this lady that I recruited onto my team, and I said, "You would make a whole lot more money just by kicking me in the rear to make sure that I did the things that I was supposed to do and taking a referral fee than you would by going out on the street and building your own business." And so, yeah, the I wish I could give you something profound that I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but I'm doing very, in fact, maybe it's remarkable that I do what I do business wise, not doing what I should be doing.
And just think what you would be doing if you were doing. So,
Yeah, I mean, yes. And because of something that I mentioned in one of your last calls, I'm actually focusing in on that. Imagine what in the world I could be doing if I was doing what I was supposed to be doing.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And
okay.
that's where, and thank you for being honest with us. I appreciate that. But that's where that comment often comes from is agents or clients would use the agent again if they heard from them or if they could remember their name. So you probably have lost a few that could have used you again or for the first time that have kind of slipped through the cracks. So
Oh, I'm sure I've lost more than a few. Yes. Yes.
you and I and your agent on your team need to have a powwow. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, Ken, thank you. Ken, I saw you had unmuted for a minute. Did you have something you wanted to share?
Well, I tried something new. I send out a monthly newsletter and I primarily send emails to my contacts saying, hey, here's a new newsletter. And here's also a link to my website where the old ones are. But then last month in the email, I added a question. I said, I just put this new article in there. Let me know if you like it or not. So whether I should include it or drop it out and go back to where I was, and it picked up responses. I got, more people came back because, you asked them a question.
Yes.
One of the things I'm going to try, and I'm almost scared to mention it because there is some new software out that lets you completely generate artificial intelligence people that look just as real as you and me online here now. And you can generate these people, put them in any location you want, and let them post on Facebook or something else. Ken, I just had to let you know how wonderful Bill and I like the house you found for us, and I couldn't believe in yada yada, and make my own endorsements.
Mm,
Is
Yeah,
that
I know.
ethical?
Well, it's not wrong. It's not false. That person feels that way. It's just that they don't exist.
Yeah. And
I
that's
understand. I haven't
yeah.
done it yet. I know all the things you're going to say right now.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I think, and again, moving forward, I think that's one thing, AI has its place where there's definitely some value that can be, but I also see where it can be absolutely just going down the wrong path real fast.
Well, there's
You
two
know,
softwares I use now. One is called Chat GPT,
hmm
and the other one is Grammarly.
Yeah, I love Grammarly.
And between the two of them right now, I mean, I thought I could write a decent letter, but Grammarly shows me I'm still in elementary school with a dull crayon.
But testimonials need to be true. They can't
Yeah.
be made up.
I understand.
hmm
I hear
Yeah.
you. That's why I said it just came on the market and I was toying with the idea.
Yeah. I think it would be more detrimental than a value.
Yeah, I almost didn't
So,
mention it, but I was so enthralled with it. I'm going to do it anyway, even if I look at it,
yeah.
just to see what I can create.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I
Well,
can make
again,
my wife
AI
jealous.
has its place, but it's also going to be, can be very catastrophic on a danger zone as well. I know that celebrities are being hacked and there's people that are putting out stuff that's, they've got the face of the celebrity, and the celebrities are now coming back and suing. So again, anytime we have anything great and wonderful, it can be used well, but it can also be used because there's people that are going to want to take it down the wrong road. So
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. So all right, let me see who else I've got here. Hey, let me pick on Donna. Donna, go ahead and unmute real quick for me. You've been a seasoned agent for a while. What do you use or have you used for follow up after a transaction?
Well, after a transaction or monthly?
Both. Just go ahead and
Okay.
it both. Yeah.
Well, I was, as you know, using a newsletter that I really, really liked until I found out that.
On us call for another 15
Hey, David,
minutes.
David, you want to mute until Donna's done? There we go. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, Donna.
So monthly, I was using the newsletter that I really, really liked, but that's not been happening lately. So now I'm working with the Samson newsletter, which I'm having a really hard time. And
Yeah,
just like you said, the pop-up was one which I learned how to cut that out. But then it was just the saving issue, which I did save it as a PDF. But then when you go to Bold Trails, I'm just not techie.
Mhm.
So then I had another CRM that I use mostly for sending out my emails, but I can't even get that to do it. So I'm not even sure what I'm going to do right now.
Okay, because I know you did have a really good one. And again, for those that don't know, we've had that new change in policy regarding using a free email to send out email blasts through a platform. Well, Donna got caught in that trap as she thought her newsletters were going out, only to discover that no, they weren't. So so she has since gone and has gotten her business email address. So I would reprogram your newsletter platform that you've been using to see if it will start going back out again.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. I was fooling around, and I have fooled around and got the Samson up, but I just can't seem to find it's all a matter of sending it out. And if I can't get it, I don't know. I just don't know right now.
I've known Donna for many, many years, and the tech stuff, and that's why I picked on, not picked on her, but called her because I know that's been her stubbing her toe is some of the tech stuff. So I wanted to let you guys know that even a good seasoned agent still stubs their toe every once in a while. And but
Oh
Donna,
my goodness.
we'll get you through it. We will get you through it. Okay.
I said
Excuse
it
me.
should not be this hard that and normally I just click and paste and it's, if I want to send something, it's good. But I've got to find out what's going on with this whole More Salts thing. It's just such a simple CRM and I love it. And at the top, you can put in all your transactions. It has a follow up. I mean, I know everybody likes or may like the Bold Trails. I don't know, but I really like More Salts.
Yeah, I would. As I told you, stay with that one because you know it and you can make it sing and dance. I'll talk to you after or class at some point to make sure that if they have a tech support, you can say you should be able to go in and update your email address just by changing in your profile. So
yeah, I've done that and I sent them a letter today. An email, not a letter, asking them what's going on, and then putting in my other email. So I'm waiting for their response, but hoping that I get this newsletter out this first week.
Yeah. I'll let you know because I know you got me on your roster. So, okay. All right, my friends. Well, though, again, I just wanted to kind of let you see that, we're all stubbing our toe every once in a while, and it's okay. And again, Andy, love you dearly, but yeah, you've left a lot of business potentially on a back burner or fell through the cracks, and nothing would make me happier for those newer agents that are on the call today with us to learn from the seasoned agents' mistakes and what not to do as well. So thank you all for being bold and honest and straight out there for you. So hopefully this has given you, again, some insight and maybe a breath of fresh air that it's, we never get done. We're never done with the business. It's constantly, massaging it and adjusting it and what can we do to make it better. But having the foundation is going to be so critical. So again, if you're new into Samson, jumpstart sessions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get your buyer consultation, get your seller consultation, get those down and master them and get the tasks done so that we can build off of it. If not, we got nothing to build on. So Andy, I see you got your hand up. What you got for me? Unmute. I don't lip read yet. There you go.
Okay, so the fellow who said a moment ago, and I didn't catch his name, about basically creating a bot. Okay, and so there is a guy that I follow in the tech space, and his name is Dr. Peter Diamandis, and he created a bot that he calls a Peter bot. And because he's in the tech space, he could throw a lot of money at it and be sort of like ahead of the curve, right? And you can go onto YouTube and see a conversation that Peter Diamandis had with his Peter bot. And if you can imagine, Lynn, if you did a split screen and you had a Lynn bot, okay? And so first off, he's right that it is scary realistic. But you're also right that
You're freezing there, Andy.
all right.
You froze up there for a second.
Okay. If God forbid whoever did this got hacked, then whoever hacked you could put words into your mouth and it would sound just like you. So all of which is to say that I'm all in favor of tech, and that I oversubscribe to this stuff. But if ever there was a limitation on something that we should be hesitant about, let's put it this way: I'm not creating an Andy bot anytime soon.
Okay. Okay. That is good.
Okay.
That is good. Thank you for that. Okay, my friends, I am going to wind this down and let you go. Hopefully this is giving you some opportunity to stop and think, what am I doing before, the during, the after? Where am I bringing value that's leveraging off of the mission statement, that is allowing me to have these gentle conversations with people, that I don't feel that I'm bugging them, because that's the number one complaint I hear across the board and have for 20 years. I feel like I'm bugging them. I don't know what to say. And if you've got, I know some of you are cleaning up on your database, don't forget one of the other great classes that's available is the best one-liners. There's one also too on conversations and scripts. As you know, I have a love-hate relationship with scripts, because scripts work really well when both parties have the script, but that typically doesn't happen. So I would rather get you comfortable in conversation starters, because you're going to have a conversation, not an interrogation. And people aren't stupid anymore. They know that everybody, I mean, when you get a call and you start hearing they're following a script, it jumps right out at you. So you don't want to get caught up in that too fast. You want to be able to have conversation, but also know which key questions and best one-liners to have to help you, so that conversation flows a lot easier. So those are some takeaways for the week on this one. I'm going to say thank you for your time. As always, I want to, and I try really hard to bring value to the time that you spend with me, give you some some takeaways, some things to think about. Master your craft, master your skill, be proud of the industry that you are in, and you will sustain the longevity in this business when many others are going to fall to the wayside. So with that, if you need me, shoot me an email, and I will look forward to seeing you all real soon. It's great to see you all here today. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thanks, Lynn.
You're welcome. Bye for now.